We're progressing in the book, and that's fantastic because the story is unfolding. As much as everybody said that the eclipse was the pinnacle of the writing, it's fair to say it is not true. It's just as good. A different storyline, not a climactic episode, but very interesting. So as a tiny recap, we'll just recall that Casca, the beloved Casca, and Guts were with child, which was demonized by, I won't even say his name. Casca gives birth, you could say rather early, to this demon spawn of he who will not be named. Guts wants to dispatch it right away. Casca does not. A little mini battle ensues, and all I can assume is that little demon creature escapes. Then we see Skullboy, and Skullboy has some interesting things to say. I think they were interesting anyway. He says, don't worry, it'll be back. Children always return to the parents. It's not going to be dead and from dusk to dusk because it's not really human. You'll be seeing it again. It's going to stick to the dark places, lightless areas of the dark world, but he'll be back. And then Skullboy says farewell. And I was taken aback. Skullboy says farewell? That's like goodbye or addio. It's a kindly salute. It kind of blew me away because he wants them to farewell. I think of Skullboy, no matter what, as an otherworldly creature. I have a hard time not thinking of him as part of the dark side of things. And yet he's shown nothing but kindness to Guts. He's rescued him at least once. But I mean, he rescued him from the pit of hell. That's quite a rescue. And Casca, the beloved Casca too. He bids them farewell, suggesting that they'll also see him again. Fascinating, fascinating. The story is starting to unfold. Guts, minus an arm, has recovered remarkably. He is strong because his bandage came off. You'd think they came off the way Hulk Hogan rips off his t-shirts, because what's revealed is an incredibly powerful looking Guts. I mean, man, oh man, he is Arnold Schwarzenegger times 3. He's just massive.
A massive guy. This big, powerful guy. This guy he is a monster.
He has a little powwow with Rickert. Rickert wants to know what happened to the Band of the Hawk, and Guts doesn't really even want to tell him very much. But Rickert is a smart little kid. He knows enough probably to know I'm not going to see the Band of the Hawk again. So he's kind of bummed. It looks as though he's going to stay with his beloved little Erica and the blacksmith. So the blacksmith has a backstory too. And it's obvious that he was a great blacksmith making weapons of minor destruction. And he was requested by a king to make a sword to kill dragons. The blacksmith maybe had a bit of a funny side, because he makes this massive sword that the king can't even lift. And Crystal read more into it, saw more into it, and basically said the king was upset that he couldn't even lift the sword, and so Mr. Blacksmith beats a hasty retreat. He says, in essence, I'm fed up with this. I'm out of here with my life. And he goes to a secluded place, and he just blacksmiths. He just makes swords, and he's an inventor too, so he invents all sorts of gadgets and gizmos. Guts, he sees it all, because Rickert gives him a tool. And I got the impression that maybe some time has gone by, and Rickert's been hanging out with the blacksmith, and maybe now the adopted son of the blacksmith, son-in-law to be, I would guess. And so Rickert knows all about these great weapons, inventions that Dad has made. Then we flash back to a scene. This is very interesting. We see a creature crawling along the ground. Lo and behold, along come an elderly couple. Isn't it always that way? It's like the old man that got attacked by Blob in the 1958 version, starring Steve McQueen, a classic. They always go for the old guy. All I can assume is, with this little creature crawling along the ground, talking about sacrifice and hunger, that the man and woman disappeared into its hideous gullet. And who should show up at the blacksmith's home but this creature? we do learn from Skullboy that they'll be followed because of their branding. He's going to be meeting these kind of creatures a lot. And a bit of a battle ensues, and Guts takes a good punch or something. Rickert says to him, use that weapon on your artificial arm, which he does. Hurts the creature for sure. But then he grabs the dragon sword, and that creature is not long for this earth. Dispatches it to his just reward, the pit of hell.
We actually have a Dragon Slayer bookmark.
Yes, that's right. A shout out to our friend
Scotty at the Brave Rogue.
Oh yeah, is that cool? Dragon Slayer. We love it.
Yes.
Can you see it okay?
Amazing. Now turn it around.
How was that?
Incredible. You're a real influencer.
Years of training.
Not years of training. This is the best product review I've ever seen.
It's a great product.
We love it.
We do. We
Incredible.
do indeed. Mark your books.
Mark your books.
Especially Berserk.
Yes.
So, Casca's locked up. Has to be locked up because she's crazy. She'll come out of it.
Are you sad?
I'm very sad. In fact, a thought came to me about Casca versus Guts. Casca was beaten. She fought valiantly right alongside Sweet Jude Blue Eyes. And after he passed, she fought herself valiantly with a sword, but she was defeated. I won't even go into it, but we know what happened to her. If you think about her in contrast to Guts, we see at the end of the eclipse, Guts is fighting it out tooth and nail, nailing these demonic creatures. He's winning. He's exhausted, but he's winning. And finally, almost defeated, he frees himself by cutting off his own arm. Grizzly. He's spent, but he's a victor spent. Casca, the beloved Casca, strongest woman I've met in anime, still lost to the demon horde and to the evil one whose name is not to be mentioned. Guts had victories. So when you realize that they're carried off by Skullboy, you can see why Guts recovers, but Casca doesn't. Because her trauma was less physical lacerations, but mental and physical, but mental, unlike Guts. Guts may have been scared in his fighting, but it didn't deter in any way his fighting skill or spirit. So he left exhausted, but he left like Jordan Peterson would say, the lobster who defeats the lesser lobster. He's going to go on to win many more battles, whereas those lesser lobsters, some of those demon hordes, they'll never be the same, even the ones that survived his sword. So that's why Casca is so out of it still. She hasn't worked her way through the psychological trauma. And Guts, and I don't want to minimize it, but Guts only had to overcome physical trauma. And with the angel Woofy Poof Dust, he was able to do so rather rapidly. And here he is slaying demons again. So he's going to take off. That's kind of where I'm at now. So for all of those who thought it would not be so great after the eclipse, it's great after the eclipse. Please follow, please like, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Same time, same station.